Hi, this is part 2 of the short story The Bottle. The part 1 I hope you enjoyed listening to. Chapter 2 The Stick. The city was as Ricky had heard of from the ranges, hot but clean from sands, with high palm trees around and in between the single stories to sky touching constructions. He froze with his eyes wide open inside the bottle, which was still resting in the hand of Henry, as he looked through the windshield. The fear he had just a while ago to have been caught by humans just went away in that glee. The traffic slowed down their car, and with that, Ricky noticed different types of sounds, the engines rasping, and the wind from the desert. But the smell was different, he wondered. Of course, Ricky had never smelled the perfume of the car. Do you want to go for a swim, Henry? Father asked. That's the Mandalay Bay Beach Resort over there. Of course, Dad. He bounced with joy in his seat. Henry's father was a biologist and an animal lover. He was a professor at the University of Nevada, and his work had developed curiosity in Henry about animals, and coincidentally, reptiles were one of his favorites. They parked the car and walked inside the Mandalay Bay Resort. As his father got all the money things done after they entered the building, they climbed up the elevator. It was a huge hotel plus casino. As they came out from the other end of it, they saw swimming pools that had artificial waves, where children and adults were enjoying the summer. After that, they decided to visit the large aquarium there, which had all kinds of tropical fishes, including the terrifying sharks. In their way to the aquarium, they also saw other animals like Komodo dragon. Of all this tour, Ricky was delighted to be in Henry's hand inside the bottle. How lucky these animals are that they are already in Las Vegas, Ricky thought. Back at home of Henry's, which was located away from the downtown, he heard the first same sentence from his mom. Not again. And after that, entering into the kitchen, she added, Is this a home or animal zoo? Let him keep it, honey. His father went to his mom and got himself seated on a chair. He's just a kid and he loves those reptiles. And I know who is the inspiration behind all this is, she said. His father said silently, smiling. Henry ran upstairs to his room, from where if anyone would look outside wouldn't be able to say that they live in Las Vegas. It was very silent there. He put the bottle on his table near the window and went towards the bathroom to get his evening bath. The climate was getting a little colder than afternoon, but since the bottle's opening had gone irregular, it was hard to come out of it in any way. As Henry returned, he took the bottle again in his hand and stood gazing at the lizard as he was still in his towels. Hello, little friend. The lizard moved a little, and Henry kept looking at him. Would you like to come out? He paused for a while. Then, leaving the bottle back on the table, he searched for a knife inside the drawer, and as he found one, he went back to the bottle and started cutting the opening slowly. He had only done the half when his mom yelled from below, Henry, get down for food right now, otherwise it won't be good for you. Afraid of his angry mother, Henry rushed to get dressed, and in a hurry he ran down, but forgot what he was doing with the bottle's nose. Ricky had been watching Henry the whole time when he worked with the knife to cut the opening, and as Henry went away, he decided to struggle with it again. With some shock, he made his way out. Without delay, he crawled towards the open window and went outside. When Henry returned to his room after his dinner, he was shocked to see the bottle empty. He took it in his hand and looked around in the room, but to his dismay, he couldn't find the lizard. Then he looked to the open window and stood there for a while. Where you gone, my friend? His face showed the sign that he had already started missing the lizard. Out of the house, Ricky crawled around the area on the green grass and then on the pitch road, which had very few vehicles moving at that time of night. He went towards a Ferrari at Henry's neighbor, which had its engine already warmed as if it was waiting for another passenger. He climbed on the back of the car and after an hour reached the downtown with it. While he was still at the back of the car, he looked around. The brightest spot, which he had heard before, was all true now. Darkness was a rare thing, and contrary to Henry's place, downtown was filled with people as if they would have been waiting for the sun to go down. Ricky jumped away from the car as it got parked. He crawled on the road for a while and came in front of a gate of a huge hotel, name of which he could not recognize. He went in. Ricky explored the hotel for a while. As he climbed on the wall above the staircase, the manager saw him and called for the housekeeper. "How that thing came over there?" he shouted. "Get that thing out right now, dead or alive. I want this hotel totally clean." The housekeeper ran to find his tools and came with a long stick first. Ricky saw him come towards him, but he was indifferent to that. As the housekeeper took the stick up and threw towards him, with a sprint he ran up on that wall. He got shocked. His impulse went faster. "What the hell is he trying to do?" he said to himself. The housekeeper picked the stick and again gave another shot. Escaping the shot, Ricky came out of the hotel to save his life. Outside, it wasn't pleasant either. Some people ambled in the street, whereas some rushed without taking care of where their feet ran over. And for Ricky, it was like a rain of feet trying to squash him up. He crawled, moved faster, ran towards the corner, towards the wall to save himself from being crushed. All this escaping left him tired and thirsty again. He hadn't had ate anything since morning, which he realized only at that moment. He scurried from walls to walls, place to place, in search of food. Finally, as he found a restaurant, he went inside, but the same thing happened. Housekeeper trying to kill him. He entered another hotel, where a woman screamed and threw water at Ricky as he ran outside of it too. He came out breathless, but in little comfort, that he got some water to lick it, at least. Why everyone's hair is trying to kill me? He wondered himself in a depressed mood. That night was the longest for him, as he struggled hard to find something to eat. Finally, at one cafeteria, he moved without getting into the attention of people around. He got something to eat, but a bad tasting thing for a lizard, a cake. Tired and desolated, he remembered his home again as he rested, hiding from everyone behind the advertisement board outside a small clothing shop. "Everyone used to love me there," he sighed. "Father was right. We don't belong here. How will I return back now?" He looked to the stars and then back on the streets. All humans are same. They all want to kill us. And with that he remembered Henry, the boy who didn't harm him in any way, but saved him from the bottle. Not all human, he paused. With that he realized something. If I want to live, I have to find him. But Henry's home was very far from the downtown for a lizard to reach soon. As he was crawling around, he came up in front of a road. He went to its corner, and as he attempted to cross it, he mistakenly climbed over a man's feet. With the impulse, the man kicked him up in the air such that he landed on the back of another man of the street and got thumped on the ground behind him. The man looked behind, and when he saw nothing, he went on his own way. On the ground, Ricky struggled to get his head to the normal state and dashed towards the nearest wall to avoid from getting crushed. As he blinked for a while to get a good view of the things around, he saw the same car he had climbed up to reach there. The same Ferrari. It was standing across the road. The man who was driving it was talking to a lady outside it, as if they were going to enter the car soon. Ricky found a hope with that, but the hurdle was the road itself. As he looked around for a while, trying to find some way, he noticed the zebra crossing, where people were waiting for the traffic light. He thought of a plan as he saw an old man with a stick, waiting to cross the road. He darted towards that old man and struck himself gently on the stick. The old man was so lost in himself that he didn't even realize that a lizard was there beside him. As the light went red for vehicles, he moved slowly on the zebra crossing, and the stick swung on the air. Ricky held it even tighter, and as he looked around, everything moved just to and fro. As the old man arrived to the opposite side, Ricky left the stick and came down on the road again. Without waiting for a second more, he crawled with as much speed as he could towards the car. Before he was to crawl up on the car, he looked behind to that old man for the last time. Not every human wants to kill us, I correct. Some knowingly hurt and others unknowingly helps, he said to himself. That day he learned something. Every stick is not for the same purpose. As the car reached back to the place where it came from, without a delay, Ricky dropped off the car and went directly towards the window from where he had come out. When he entered the window, it was still dark outside, and the room was lit with a night bulb. As Ricky looked inside, he saw the boy asleep, but with the bottle in his hand. Ricky found himself staring at the bottle, and then back to the Henry from the desk near the window. He paused for a while. His eyes felt the love that the boy had for him. Ricky gently went down the table, across the floor, and climbed up to the bed, located at the corner of the room. He then went over the boy's chest and entered the bottle. Inside that bottle, on the hands of Henry's, he slept for the night that was left. Morning was quiet. Ricky was calm with eyes closed, and Henry was silent in his dreams. Henry slowly opened his eyes as he woke up, but his eyes went even wider as he found Ricky in the bottle. Oh gosh, he exclaimed without moving. You are back. He yelled to his mother and shouted that the lizard was back. He gently moved and sat on his bed with the bottle still in his hand. He gently moved and sat on his bed with the bottle still in his hand. Ricky was so tired that even the shouting didn't disturb his sleep. When mother entered the room, she was astonished to find a sleeping lizard for the first time. My God, so cute! She took her hand to her mouth. Her anger the day before evaporated with it. So, are you happy now, Henry? You have been missing him so much, and he came back to you. Yes, Mom. Henry paused. But I think he misses his home. He wants to go back. That is what he tried to do the last night, I suppose. Maybe, my dear. She caressed Henry's face, and then played with his hair. Everyone loves their home, don't they? Henry nodded. And most probably this lizard is dreaming of his home right now. They both exchanged a smile. Henry, always remember, home is, she placed her hand on her chest, where the heart is. Henry nodded in affirmation. But first, get ready for the breakfast, his mother added. Okay, and get something for him too, Henry said. And his mother noticed how he used him in place of it for the lizard, and thus she smiled. Back at afternoon, Henry's father and he went back to the place where they had found that lizard. As his father pulled over the car, Henry looked back at the lizard for that last time. Are you sure you want to let him go, Henry? Asked the father. Yes, Dad, he said. You know what? What? His father asked. Home is where the heart is. Father got a little puzzled to hear that, but he smiled at Henry. They both got out of the car, and Henry laid the bottle down on the desert. Ricky gently crawled out of it, darted on the sand. After he traveled some distance, he paused and looked behind for a while, and again crawled onward. I'll miss you, said Henry. I'll miss you, thought Ricky. Thank you for listening to this short story that I wrote for the first time. I hope you loved it. If yes, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. I hope to write more stories like this in the future. Have a good time. See you.